Hello, Internet. I'm Tarrker the Newt, and today I just want to talk about something that matters to me. In case you didn't know, and I don't blame you if you don't, I don't exactly make it public knowledge, but I work at a hotel now. Ooh, hang on, let me. There we go. There's a cat behind my camera. Stormy, come here. Hi. Hey, Fuzzball. What you doing? Are you being a pain in the butt? Come here, you. Oh, this is my kitty cat, Stormy. He's busy. He's very busy playing with the other ones. Anyway, so I work at a hotel, and I just wanted to go down a little list of hotel worker pet peeves. I specifically work at the front desk. I would talk about things having to do with room service and housekeeping. But to be fair, I don't really know, so I'm not going to talk about it. Maybe I'll go interview some of my coworkers and see what they have to say. I don't know. That could be a future video. Anyway, I don't want to make this a big, long thing. I just want to talk about some things. So, point number one thing that people... My wife works at Tractor Supply. Did you know that? Anyway, one thing that people often do is they'll come in looking for a room, and they'll look at our parking lot. Like, we don't have a vacancy sign, which I agree is stupid. Like, we should. We're not exactly a cheap hotel, so to speak. So, I mean, we can afford vacancy signs, but we just don't have one for whatever reason. It's just not been a priority. So people look at our parking lot, and a lot of times I have people come in, and I'll refuse them a room because we're full or all the rooms are dirty or whatever. And they get really pissed off because our parking lot's empty. And I've heard it all. Like I've been called a racist because, I'm a white guy and they're like not white or whatever. So, of course, that's a thing people do. I've had people just get pissed off and insist that I definitely have room when I don't. And it's like, what do you tell these people? Like, you don't, like, if I don't have rooms, I don't have rooms. It's not like we don't want to make money, I mean, sometimes if somebody comes in who is like very clearly very drunk or very insane, then yeah, we'll deny him a room, but that is pretty rare. Like, you gotta be really belligerent or really nasty to be denied a room on the spot. We do not deny rooms. Like, that's our business. That's how we make money. You gotta give people the rooms, but the logic escapes me. Like, how do I put it? Well, like, buses and taxis are a thing, and especially here, like in Lancaster County, where a lot of people don't drive. I don't drive. I walk to work. Even people who aren't Amish or Mennonite do a lot of walking, bike riding, things like that. So, I mean, there could be 100 bikes behind the hotel. They'll still look at the hotel or look at the front parking lot and be like, oh, there's nobody here. There's nothing in your parking lot. And or better yet, the horse traders that come for the horse sales here in the valley, they park across the street because it's illegal to park in our parking lot. If you have a trailer over 15 feet, you will get fined. So they park across the street, and they'll be like, oh man, there'll be like 100 trucks and trailers across the street. People will look at our parking lot and be like, oh, you're empty. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating. From a front desk perspective, it's frustrating to have insults and anger hurled at your fucking face the instant somebody walks in because they think you're empty. But what the hell do you know? Are you the one looking at the computer screen? No. So anyway, on to the next one. Most hotels I've been in, and certainly the hotel I work at, have these huge like contractor bins at every exit on either side of the doors as well. There'll be one on the inside that's a little more clean. It has the top on it with the hinging spring-loaded doors. And then usually outside there'll be one with the flip top. And somewhere somewhere around the hotel there's going to be a dumpster. Put your big shit in there. Like, seriously, put your big shit in the big containers. Don't walk into the fucking lobby, look at that tiny little round thing that's for throwing coffee creamers and pieces of paper into, and then dump your pizza, Jenga your freaking, nasty ass pizza boxes and shit onto that. It's so frustrating. And when I have a line of people who all do that, it ends up on the fucking floor and spills out, and people just don't give a shit. And what's worse is they'll see other people do that, and they'll be like, oh, well, that means it's okay for me to do it too. No, it's not okay. Don't fucking do that. Seriously, it's not like rocket science we're talking about here. This is common sense bullshit. Like, oh my God, don't put big trash in a little container. Another thing is, chances are wherever you go, there's a dumpster in the back somewhere that housekeeping uses. Now, I'm not stupid. People are people. I realize that there are going to be some asshole hotel workers who just want to say fuck you to everyone. That's going to happen, and I apologize on behalf of everyone in service. That's bad. Like, that is very much the opposite of what we do at our job. At our job, you need to be friendly and understanding and have patience and compassion for your fellow humans. Sometimes people just aren't like that, and they still get the job somehow. I don't know. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is there's going to be a dumpster back there somewhere, because housekeeping is a thing, and there's no way they're walking all the way outside to dump the trash that they pick up in the rooms. There's going to be a dumpster back there. So if you have something big and you don't want to walk all the way to a large container, just give it to the guy at the desk. Be like, hey, do you have a dumpster? Can you get rid of this for me? Just ask them. Just ask them. If they say no, then it's a little bit of a walk that you have to take. But chances are they're going to be like, yeah, that's no problem. Just give me a second. And then they'll walk it back to the dumpster for you while you're signing your papers or what the hell ever. It's not that hard. Just seriously, don't just dump shit. Like, it's so frustrating, especially now with the infectious disease that's spreading around and all that. I don't want to be touching your disgusting pizza containers and having to mop grease off of my floor. I don't, okay? The next point I want to make is, do not walk in and immediately start demanding shit. Like, oh, hey, my little shadow kitty. He still does not show up on camera great, but yeah, don't walk in and just be like, hey, give me your cheapest room possible, give me your best rate possible, I need this now. Like, just don't do it. That is a bad look. Like, I know most of the people doing that really do just want the best rate, and they're just trying to get that good rate, but that is a bad look. Like, that is really frustrating. We get people all the time who want to argue with us about price and things like that. It's not our decision. We have no say over what price you get charged for your room. We have no more say over it than the cashier at Walmart has a say in how much your shampoo costs when you get to the checkout. We can't change the price of your room. It's just not something we can decide. So, I mean, chances are, if you walk in all like, give me your best rate, like, I want the best rate now, chances are whoever's at the desk is going to be like, oh, fuck this guy. He's not getting this discount that I was going to give him. Because that's the thing. There are seasonal rates. There are discounts based on things like age groups. Sometimes it's even based on race, although that's a little iffy. But there's definitely like senior discounts, military government employee discounts, AAA. There are a lot of hotels, especially ours, will do things to try and sort of promote local business. Like, we have a special rate for people who are horse traders, people who, livestock traders in general. We like to help that business, so we give them a special rate, and guys who work at like local factories and things like that. There's usually like, I don't want to go into too much because that's like don't ask, don't tell territory. But there will often be like a list of rates that are specifically linked to particular businesses. So just maybe bring that up, check in, talk about some stuff, and then politely bring up like, hey, I work for this business, or hey, I'm a senior, hey, I'm a military veteran. Is there a discount for this? That sort of thing. The thing you don't want to do is just walk in, slam your shit on the counter, be like, give me your best rate now, No. That's just, it's common sense. I know almost this whole list is basically going to be common sense, but it's just, that's how it is, Sadly, common sense is not all that common, so here we are. Anyway, the next thing is, I just want to say this as politely as possible, but as loudly as possible. Yeah, you're not the only guest in the hotel, okay? Like, I'm sorry it took me nearly 30 minutes to get you your extra pillow, but there are other guests. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've had somebody come to me and be like, hey, our toilet's overflowing, can you do something? Or hey, we need an extra pillow, or I need a toothbrush, can you bring it to the room? Like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then they'll come down like an hour later to the desk, right, like I'm literally reaching for the key in the key lock to go to the storage room and get what they need, and they're at the desk like, what the fuck are you doing? It's been an hour. Where's my fucking pillow? And all this shit. And it's like, oh, dude, seriously? Like, where were you 20 minutes ago when I had a line of guests that I had to check in all at once? Like, it's just, you're not the only guest. Bus groups especially are bad at this. Like seriously, tourists, especially old. I hate making generalizations because it's not always like that, but bus groups in particular, regardless of age and things like that, I don't know what it is. Just these people, they come in all at once and they're so needy. Like, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because of the tour groups. They're used to having the tour people constantly ask them if they need stuff and then giving them what they need. I have no idea, but they always need shit and they need it now. Like, they need it like 5 minutes ago. And it's like I got 30 people all asking me for shit. That last person on that list of 30 is going to be really pissed off at me. And I can't say anything. I can't even be like, I'm not even allowed to be like, hey, there was 30 people before you. Like, it took as long as it took. Please be patient with me. I'm only human. I'm not allowed to say that. All I can do is say, I'm sorry it took so long. I'm sorry for the wait. Here's your stuff. That's all I can say. I can't level with people because that's unprofessional. I'm not allowed to do it. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in the back of your mind, that there's a lot you're not seeing. There's a lot you're not hearing because service people are not allowed to level with you. We just can't. Maybe if you know that person really well and have been talking to them, they'll start leveling with you, revealing a little bit of stuff because they feel personable with you. But it just, that's in particular is something a lot of people don't understand is the unseen, I don't know, the unseen, unspoken area of the service industry, especially people who have never served others themselves. But I digress. I'm really good at getting off topic. Anyway, my next point is about directions. I get a lot of people pissed off that I can't give them directions to shit. Like, yeah, this is where I'm from. I grew up in this area, but that doesn't mean I know where literally everything is. I'm a huge nerd who's into martial arts and video games, like Minecraft, and I like animals, so I'm into animals. How can I? Is there Bulbasaur right there, and my Pokemon, my Pokeball. Anyway, So if you're wondering where crystal caves are, I don't fucking know. I don't know where that shit is. You want to know where the basket weaving contest is? I don't know. What the hell do I know about basket weaving? There's a basket weaving contest? Oh, people will just what's worse is people will just come in and be like, "Hey, where's the apple orchard?" What? How do you even Google something like that? And that's the thing. Like, Google Maps is a thing that exists. Almost every single one of these people will have a phone and Google Maps open, and they still want directions from you. It's like, I don't know. I don't even drive. So I have it even worse than other people, because I don't have a fucking clue. I do feel for the people who want to know what the name of the road is that I'm on, the one that I work at and live on. Because I don't know. I can't remember stuff like that. I don't drive, so I don't do that, you know? And I definitely feel for the people who are like, hey, how far is it to Lancaster from here? Because, again, I don't know. I've never driven to Lancaster. I can tell you how long it takes to walk. A long fucking time, all day. But that doesn't help you any, does it? I could give it my best guess. It just... But what irks me is the people who get so mad and have Google Maps in front of them, and I can give them the address to something, but they still want directions and are pissed off that I can't give them the directions. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. There's Google Maps. Just follow that. Navigate to your point. Like, seriously. Oh, jeez. And the amount of... That's another thing I wanted to touch on, too. The amount of people who come to my desk expecting some kind of technical support. I mean, I'm pretty knowledgeable about electronics and devices because I'm just a computer nerd. You know, I like video games and that involves technology. But I can't help you with your iPad. Like, I don't know. I've never used an iPad once. I know as much about it as you do. You probably know more. It's your device. What the hell do I know? Why do people expect that? Like, that is just baffling to me. They just... And they don't even... Like, they just walk up, throw the thing on the counter, like, fix this. What do you think this is? This isn't Staples. It's a hotel. I mean, you're lucky to get me. I'm kind of the tech support for the hotel because I know about computers. But we actually have desktop computers, you know, IBM computers that I know how to use, so I can provide tech support. But if you throw an iPad on that counter and are just like, fix this, you might as well be asking me to read a Greek tablet. Like, what? I still don't understand why people expect that. Like, why would you expect me to... Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But people expect it. That is another thing that is this whole list. I have no idea, but people expect it. Anyway, this is already a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I'm almost 20 minutes here on my recording. The next point I want to make has to do with current conditions, and this will probably be dated in another year or so. But face masks. Oh my God, face masks. Urgh! Like, seriously, you are not the one exception to the rule. Like, I realize this has become a political thing online, and I'm distancing myself from that. Fuck that noise. I'm not going to argue about it, but there are rules. Pennsylvania, it is now state law that you must wear a face mask in public. That is between the time from when you enter the doors and go to your room, or leave your room and exit the doors. That's it. You got to do that. And we have to try and make sure that you're doing that. That's all that matters. The rest is bullshit, okay? Like, it doesn't matter what you think or feel. It is a law. It is illegal to expose other people to your fucking lung germs, okay? Like, you gotta wear a face mask. And what's fucked up is chances are, like, I mean, yeah, you could maybe get a fine if you're belligerent or angry enough. The cops could probably arrest you, but chances are that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is an inspector from higher up is going to show up at our hotel, see that people aren't wearing masks, and then that's going to be a mark against us. Okay? So if we're telling you to wear a face mask, it's not because we hate you or are trying to oppress you. It's because it could quite literally cost us our job. Seriously, all you have to do is wear it from the moment you walk in the door to the moment that you get into your room. That's it. If you leave your room, you only have to wear it till you leave the hotel. Like, it's a few minutes. It's a walk down the hall. I get that some people can't really do that, but if you can't do that, why are you out traveling? Why are you staying at a hotel? Stay home. Like, don't go to public spaces if you can't wear a face mask. Like, that's what I do. I can't really wear a face mask. I just can't do it because of my allergies. It lowers my lung capacity, and I'll black out. I've come pretty close a few times, actually, because I have people at the desk, and if somebody's at my desk, I have to wear my face mask. When I'm behind the desk, I'm technically not in public, so I can get away with not wearing it. But if somebody's at the desk, they're within 6 feet, I have to wear the mask. And if I have a long line of people that takes more than about 20 minutes or so to check out, I'm going to get real close. I start seeing spots, and it's not good. But I do it. I do it because I have to, and so do you. You are not the one exception to the rule. It's so frustrating. And what's worse is when, you try to tell people, and we have disposable masks. My boss bought a whole crate of them so that we can hand them out if somebody, forgot their mask or doesn't have them. God, try offering an entitled asshole a face mask sometime. You will get the most unbelievable bile just thrown right at your fucking face for just wanting them to observe public health safety standards. Like, I didn't make these fucking rules. I'm just trying to I'm just doing my job, like, seriously. Anyway, on to the last topic. Finally, I want to talk about checkout times and checkout times. The checkout times, I can't speak for other hotels, but the checkout times don't matter so much to us. Although the later you try to check out, that's, the housekeeping needs to clean your room. And when you're not checking out, that means they're waiting on you to clean your room. So, if you want to leave, if you think you're leaving at 3 p.m. when you're supposed to have checked out at 11 a.m., that means somebody has to stay at work until you're out of that fucking room. Somebody has to stay at work until 3 p.m. when they were supposed to leave at 1, and it's fucking inconsiderate as all hell. Like, I get that people don't understand that. They don't know that that's a thing, but this is me telling you that's a thing, Like, just, there's a reason that this shit happens. There's a reason that we have certain check-in and check-out times. And the check-in times are especially egregious because, oh boy, where do you even begin with this shit? Like, okay, if the check-in time is 3 p.m. in the afternoon and you want to check in at 3 a.m. in the morning, that's 2 nights. You're going to get charged 2 nights because that's 12 hours. That's 12 hours that you're checking in early. Like, you can't come in and be like, oh, it's Sunday, because it's 3 a.m. Like, that's just not I realize that most people watching this will be like, oh, yeah, no, that's understandable. But there's a lot of people who don't get that. Like, seriously, they'll come in at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and just expect to have a room. There hasn't been any housekeeping. They show up at like 7 a.m. and it's 3 a.m. There's no housekeeping. If I have a room to give you, I'll give it to you, but I gotta charge you for that night, I gotta do it. I don't really have a choice, and you arguing is not going to change that. Like, it's not going to change how things work. That's that's just how it is. There's a lot of reasons why you can't check in at 3 a.m. And expect to be charged one night. There's just so many reasons. Like, just first of all, that's a room that you're now taking that was going to be available the next day and is now not because you're taking it today. And yeah, it's 3 a.m. Sunday, but technically it's still Saturday because I haven't changed it over to the next day yet, and that's just how it works. You know, it becomes Sunday at 4 or 5 a.m., not whenever the hell you feel like showing up. And I mean, even if you show up after it becomes Sunday, you know, like at 5 or 6 in the morning, you're still showing up before there's housekeeping, and the housekeeper's got to try and work around you, and we have to try and work around you. I have to try and get people into their rooms. You know, I have to check and see that we have enough availability for people who have made reservations. And that's another thing I wanted to touch on that I kind of forgot in my list. Availability. Don't just show up and expect to have a room like that. I mean, I kind of touched on that in the whole parking lot thing, but if you just show up and expect there to be a room for you, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. Chances are you won't have the room you want. You won't, like, it just... That's just how it works. Like, you're not going to get the room you want, and you'll be lucky if you get a room. And if there's a nice guy behind the desk who goes out of his way to try and find you a room to go into, like, fucking appreciate that shit, because that's not easy. Like, that is not easy. I gotta look, you know, to the next day and search availability and compare, like, huge amounts of things. And that's another thing too, is people who can't wait. Like, they're like, why is this taking so long? Like, all you have to do is print out a paper and get me to sign. No, there's so much more that goes into this. Like, I have to make sure that your room is clean, and the system could be telling me one thing, but common sense could be telling me another. Or I'm looking at, the system is telling me that there's no rooms available, but there's a bunch of empty slots in what we call the pit, where we put the registry slips. Like, there's no registry slips in. So then, you know, then it becomes real fun. Then I got to go physically walk my ass to a room, knock on that door, be like, room service, like, really loud, to make sure they hear me, and hope and pray that I don't disturb anyone nearby. And then I got to go into that room and pray that I'm not walking in on somebody who's just trying to sleep or other things. And oh yeah, so I really just hope that this has given everybody a little more appreciation for what people in hotel service actually do. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Like comment down below. I love talking about this shit. I know I sound kind of angry in this video, but it's really just a lot of repressed rage that I build up over the years doing this job, you know, that's coming out in this video. Trust me, I actually really like talking about this, and you're not gonna, like, insult me or hurt my feelings or anything. I mean, I don't know, maybe you will, but I don't care. I'll still talk to you. So if you have any questions, yeah, ask me. Definitely ask me. If this is something people like hearing about, maybe I'll make another video about it sometime in the future. I'm still entertaining the idea of interviewing the housekeeping girls, although that is kind of a Pandora's box that I've got to open very carefully and very slowly. So that might happen. I don't know. It all depends on what you guys are interested in. I can't say I have, like, huge traffic or anything. I mostly do this just for my own amusement, and obviously for therapeutic reasons. But yeah, so that's my video. That's my rant for the day. I'm sorry it was so long. I really just didn't mean for this to be so long, but it ended up being longer than I expected. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate all of you. I've been getting some great feedback. Even some of the more negative stuff has had good intentions. So I appreciate you all appreciating me. Thanks for watching, guys.